Steubenville High School football coach Reno Sacoxia not only knew that two of his players had sexually assaulted a teenage girl during a booze-fueled night last August, he also tried to shield his athletes from prosecution, evidence presented during last week's trial of the two players suggests. Sacoxia, who has won 3 state championships and has been inducted into the Ohio Coaches Hall of Fame, is just one of the Steubenville coaches, parents and students who could face criminal charges after a grand jury reviews evidence from the case next month. Ohio Attorney General Mike DeWine announced on Sunday that he would convene a grand jury on April 15 to determine if criminal charges should be filed against coaches, parents and football players who failed to report shared photos of the assault on social media, failed to report the incident or attempted to cover it up. "You cannot bring finality to this without the convening of a grand jury," DeWine said on Sunday, shortly after a judge pronounced Big Red quarterback Trent Mace, 17, and receiver Malik Richmond guilty in the horrific rape of a girl from a nearby West Virginia community. "We have 16 witnesses who would not talk to us." According to a CNN report, 2 girls who posted threatening tweets aimed at the female victim were arrested Monday by sheriff's deputies and state investigators. The report said that Jefferson County Sheriff Fred Abdallah confirmed that the girls, 15 and 16, are from Steubenville and were placed in a juvenile jail facility, awaiting an appearance before the judge on Tuesday. Kathy Davidson, the Steubenville city manager, said the city supports the grand jury investigation because it's important that justice is served. "Football is important in Steubenville, but I think overall if you looked at the community in and of itself, it's the education process, the moral fiber of our community, and the heritage of our community, that is even more important," Davidson said. Advocates for sexual assault victims also applauded DeWine's decision to have a grand jury review the case, but they said the Steubenville case demonstrates that aggressive law enforcement needs to be coupled with strong prevention programs. "This was a tragic situation for everybody involved, and it shows that coaches and parents need to reinforce the message that sexual violence will not be tolerated," said Katie Hamill, executive director of the Ohio Alliance to End Sexual Violence. Teammates testified that they saw Mays and Richmond penetrate the 16-year-old victim with their hands, which constitutes rape under Ohio law. Some photographed and videotaped the football stars as they degraded the intoxicated girl. Others joked about the incident on social media. None of them went to the police that night. "There's ample reason to believe there were other bystanders who could have intervened and didn't," said Duke Associate Vice Provost Donna Lisker, who teaches a gender and sports seminar at the university. Steubenville, the recent survey indicates, is not an anomaly. More than half the teens and young adults polled last week for the Avon Foundation for Women said they would find it difficult to intervene in a sexual assault or dating violence. 40% said they would not even know what to do if they witnessed such a crime. Ohio's Jefferson County, which includes Steubenville, receives $15,000 from the federal government annually to hire a part-time rape crisis advocate, according to Hamill. That person's responsibilities include assisting and counseling victims as they are being examined at local hospitals and directing them to available resources. "There is no funding," she added, "for programs that teach athletes and other students to intervene. That is why it is critical for coaches and other adults to teach students that sexual violence will not be tolerated. I do think about how heroic these young people could have been, had more of those people in that room intervened, and said, 'This is not okay. You need to stop this. She's vulnerable and helpless at this point. We need to get her out of here,' Lisker said. Those opportunities for heroism that were missed. I know that at Duke, we're really focusing on what we call bystander intervention, and we have a program for that. That is something we really want to teach." Text messages and other evidence presented in last week's trial suggested that Trent Mays in particular believed his status as a football star, and the privilege Big Red football enjoys in Steubenville, protected him from prosecution. "I think we often invest heroism in the wrong people," Lisker said. "It can be dangerous to say that a 16-year-old or 17-year-old should be a role model because he or she can do impressive things on the field athletically. I think as a country, time and again, we've made that mistake with athletes. It's hard for a kid getting that to keep his or her values and priorities straight. You start to believe your own press after a while," she added. Sacoxia may have also come to believe that his football success shielded his players from accountability, but rape victim advocates say the coach failed his athletes in a big way. That's where you need really strong adult leadership. From coaches, from parents, from others to help that kid put it all in perspective, Lisker said. Not easy to come by.